LEGO released the first Star Wars sets back in 1999, and some of those older sets just didn't really cut it. But as LEGO evolved and developed new piece molds and minifigure designs, the quality and accuracy got a lot better with things, and 2024 actually marks the 25th anniversary of this iconic theme. So today, we're going to compare 25 years of LEGO evolution. To release, I'm also giving away a free sealed copy of Boarding the Tantive 4. All you have to do is subscribe and comment down below on this video. So sit back, relax, and
strap yourselves in, because this is where the fun begins.
Let's get into it, because travelling back to 1999 isn't easy, but the Phantom Menace wave nostalgia sure is, and that's why our first set is set 71711, the Mos Espa pod race. This set packed 3 pod races in and included stands for the audience, making it the perfect kind of play set. I mean, who remembers this level from the LEGO Star Wars Skywalker saga? This set retailed at $90 and it came with 10 minifigures. Many of them were exclusive at the time, including Anakin, Padme, Qui-Gon, Sebulba and Gasgano, along with Jar Jar and a bunch of pit droids. It looked really good for its time, and 25 years later is being turned into a diorama style set for 2024's Boonta Eve pod race diorama. But moving on to the year 2000 now, and a choice that might surprise you. The minifigure packs were available back then, basically the prototype of the modern day battle pack. And back in 2000 you could pick up these for just $4.99, and each included 3 minifigures with stands and character cards. Now in 2024 these sets sell for well over $100 sealed, and my favourite has to be set 3340, the Sith Lord pack, featuring Sidious, Darth Vader and Darth Maul. Now next up in 2001 we saw only 9 official sets, and I have to hand it the #1 slot to the UCS Rebel Blockade Runner, or Tantive 4, which is the largest and most detailed Tantive ever made. The UCS Tantive retailed at $200 and had 2,000 pieces, and it captured such an iconic scene it's been updated as both a playset and in 2024 in the form of Boarding the Tantive 4, which takes us inside to the iconic entrance of Darth Vader. 2002 was a huge year for the LEGO Star Wars theme. It was actually the year that I started collecting LEGO Star Wars. We had a Saga collection wave focusing on the original trilogy, and of course an Attack of the Clones wave, which is where 3 of the biggest 2002 sets come from for me. Because it was the year that I started collecting, there's a lot of nostalgia attached to some of these sets. So first up, an honourable mention goes to the Bounty Hunter Speeder Pursuit. I'd love to see this updated in the next couple of years. It's a really iconic early 2000s LEGO set, and the most nostalgic set in the world for me is the UCS N1 Starfighter, which I got as a little boy. It's been sitting proudly on my display since I saved it, with its chrome parts, scratches and all. Retailed at just $40 back in 2002, and I think that's absolutely crazy. But the #1 spot does go to the first ever Republic Gunship featuring Jedi Bob, and a bit like with Boarding the Tantive 4, we're seeing Jedi Bob return this year as part of the LEGO Star Wars 25th anniversary range. On to 2003, which was another huge year for LEGO Star Wars. The #1 set here has to be the original 10123 Cloud City. Now, the set itself really isn't anything special, the designs are a little bit clunky, but the minifigures and the rarity have made it worth over $3,000 sealed in 2024. And it does have a certain classic LEGO charm to it. In 2004, it was set 4501, the Mos Eisley Cantina, which came with a custom moulded dewback, a sleek looking Luke's Land Speeder, which wasn't too cliche back then, and of course, the Cantina itself featuring exclusive Greedo minifigure. So, pretty cool set, but in 2005, we start getting Revenge of the Sith, and even more prequels nostalgia. For me, there was never any question, set 7283, the Ultimate Space Battle, is the best set, and it's a holy grail of mine. It's arguably the best Revenge of the Sith set LEGO's ever made. Featured 2 Jedi Starfighters and 3 Vulture droids. Let's go to 2006, where we only had about 10 sets released, and for me, the top spot has to go to set 6211, the Imperial Star Destroyer, which was only $100 and had great minifigures, and it was actually the first ever Star Destroyer that I owned in LEGO form. Now, in 2007, the first golden age of LEGO Star Wars was coming to an end, but for the Clone Wars, it was just around the corner. LEGO still dropped some bangers though. The best set has to be set 7662, the Trade Federation MTT. The nostalgia around this set has given it S-tier droid status, and the design and features LEGO included was something pretty special. But 2007 did also see the release of my favourite Jedi ship set, or Starfighter set, Obi-Wan's Jedi Starfighter with hyperdrive. But where 2007 really shined was in the introduction of the LEGO Star Wars Battle Pack, with both 7654 the Droids Battle Pack and 7655 the Clone Troopers Battle Pack. These early battle packs would lay the way for LEGO's most successful line of smaller sets. Now, 2008 things got absolutely crazy. The Clone Wars dropped and begun instilling a love of Star Wars into a whole new generation of fans, and LEGO followed suit. They released a gunship, a V-19 Torrent ATTE, a Hailfire droid to name just a few, but the best set of all was set 10188, the UCS Death Star. Retailed at $400 $100, which back then was a huge price point, and it's not perfect, but it has withstood the test of time. And unlike other giant ship sets, it has multiple rooms and functions with detailed interior, and best of all, it included 27 minifigures. 2009 is another really tough year, which saw the release of the Venator playset and the Battle of Endor bunker, while also being the year of one of the most legendary battle packs of all time, the Clone Walker Battle Pack, which is seen by many as being one of the cleanest concept battle packs ever made. And yet, none of these are the best set, because we had the White Whale, the Holy Grail itself, in set 10195, the Republic dropship with ATOT. I don't think much needs to be said here, but getting both the ground tank and the dropship together was something special. We've never seen it since, and that's why in 2024, this set will set you back over $1,000. But 2009 was actually the 10-year anniversary of the LEGO Star Wars theme, and for that they released a chrome Darth Vader collectible minifigure polybag, which definitely does deserve an honourable mention here. I'd love to see the return of minifigure polybags, and I had hoped we would see them this year for the 25th anniversary. The first decade of LEGO Star Wars is done here, so let's check out 2010, where an honorary mention goes to the UCS Imperial Shuttle, one of the cleanest and coolest UCS sets around. But the best set of 2010 for me was set 8098, the Clone Turbo Tank, mainly because I have nostalgic memories of loading the Walker in and out for battle, and back then I was hooked on the Clone Wars, and getting Ayla Secura, Anakin and Ahsoka all together was really cool. I wish it came with a couple extra clones, but still a classic set. 2011 is a UCS year without a doubt. Set 10221, the UCS Superstar Destroyer, a huge set with loads of microscale detailing, even had a partially accessible interior for displaying your figures, something we don't even see on UCS sets in 2024, and getting a Bossk was very cool, but ultimately it was just a great prototype for big UCS display sets. Now, in 2012, we had Palpatine's Arrest, set 9526, and for me, the design of this set was terrible, but the concept is nearly perfect. It's one of the most iconic scenes in Revenge of the Sith, and I'm really hopeful that LEGO might redesign and release this set again in 2025. Until then, I've got my Kyle Janin Bricks custom Senate Arrest diorama. 2013 was a big year, but it has to be the UCS Ewok Village for me. We did get the likes of an updated gunship, Jabba's sail barge, even the Rancor pit, but the UCS Ewok Village did a fantastic job of capturing the village on Endor. 17 minifigures is always a win, and although some of the trees look quite blocky and the design is a little fragile, it still takes the #1 spot. Now, 2014, we had Rebels hit the scene, so we had things like the Coruscant Police gunship, and we had the first ever Ghost, but it has to be said that set 75052, the updated Mos Eisley Cantina, featured the 3 Bith musicians, and it folded out and opened for play, which I think you can clearly see the prototype of the design for the UCS Mos Eisley Cantina. And it's interesting seeing that design kind of progress over the last 25 years. Moving on to 2015, where I'm caught between some Rebels nostalgia for the Wookiee gunship, which I think is a very underrated set, giving the Wookiees some action and showcasing their escape during Rebels. But there was also the UCS Slave One, which is arguably one of the best UCS sets ever made, right down to all of the design features and the fact that you could display it in flight mode. And these days, with LEGO calling the Slave One Boba Fett Starship, it seems unlikely we're ever going to see the Slave One again. Moving into 2016, where there was a big mix of sets with things like an updated UCS Death Star, but also the first wave of Force Awakens sets and some Rogue One sets that released like Krennic's Shuttle. But best set was set 75157, Captain Rex's ATTE, which to this day is a really unique and fun concept from LEGO. The way the clones built the extra platforms, the ladders, and the kind of apocalypse survival system was insanely cool. In 2017, there's only one realistic choice, set 75192, the UCS Millennium Falcon. I think we all know this is a grail for a lot of people, and at the time it was the biggest LEGO set they had ever produced, and it would stay that way until 2020 when the Colosseum overtook it. But it signaled a new era in LEGO Star Wars UCS sets, which of course brings us to 2018, where for me the #1 set is 75222, the MBS Betrayal at Cloud City. I love Master Builder sets. This took the original Cloud City and made it into a sprawling playset with accessible sections, including a landing pad for a really great play-scale Slave One. In my opinion, it could be the greatest LEGO Star Wars playset ever made, but let me know if I'm wrong down in the comments. Because we're moving on to 2019 now, which marked the end of the second decade of LEGO Star Wars and brought us the 20th anniversary wave of sets, including the Clone Scout Walker, but the set that really defined 2019 was set 75243, the Slave One, which was back not long after its UCS release, in a smaller, sleeker 20th anniversary form that was much more affordable. Next up in 2020, we had a small classic in the Jewel and Mustafar, which updated the previous playset versions with some cool play features, but we also had the UCS Mos Eisley Cantina, and as we know, I'm a big fan of MBS sets. With a sprawling, accessible design and 21 minifigures included, it kind of ticked all of the boxes. Now, in 2021, we had Pre Vizsla and his Mandalorian Starfighter, along with the best playscale Imperial shuttle yet. But we also had set 75313, the UCS AT-AT, which is a masterpiece in design and displayability. Just look at that thing. So let's talk about 2022, when we had set 75337, the ATTE Walker, the best ATTE model yet, with a really fun build process, updating the 4 previous classic versions and giving us the first ever Phase 2 Cody. But it was also the start of the LEGO Star Wars diorama lineup, giving us the Dagobah Jedi training set, which is, in my opinion, the best diorama yet. 2023 isn't far behind us, and it was a year that LEGO really started to get things right, capitalizing on recent Battle Pack success and releasing sets for the 20th anniversary of the Clone Wars and the 40th anniversary of Return of the Jedi. So it was a tough year to rank, and while the UCS Venator does deserve a mention, so does the Emperor's Throne Room diorama and the Coruscant Republic Gunship. Probably also the Ghost and Phantom 2 as well. It was a huge year, and it's not hard to see why. And with all of this history in mind, here we are in 2024 with the 25th anniversary of the LEGO Star Wars theme upon us, and with a Boonta Eve pod race diorama, a midi-scale Tantive 4 starship, and boarding the Tantive 4. And in my opinion, this is the cleanest set of 2024. And there are a few other clear-cut nods to the 25th anniversary, but I can't help but feeling that LEGO has missed out on a few nostalgic classic opportunities to release updated, long-awaited fan favourite sets. So let me know what you think they are down in the comments. But that is about everything, so don't forget to enter the giveaway, and if you're new here, be sure to subscribe, because that is all I've got, and I'll see you guys in the next video.